Hi everyone! Welcome to the Talks a Lot Boys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm here, I'm Tyler. And you know me, I'm the host, I'm always here. You know who else is always here? My two lovely gentlemen boys, who are my friends. Their names are Brennan
What's going on, bro?
and Kyle.
What an intro.
I know, they just keep getting better every time. You'd think I'd prep, but I never do. Will I ever learn? Probably not. Today is our very special Thanksgiving episode of the podcast. This doesn't fit into any real show that we typically do, but I guess we've done a power ranking before of things that weren't songs. So this is part of that thing. Our content isn't confusing. Today we're gonna rank all the best dang parts of a Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know how this is going to work, but what else would you expect us to do from a Thanksgiving special? This is what we do. We rank things. What does Thanksgiving involve? Food? That's quite literally all that Thanksgiving is composed of.
Yeah.
Other than like kind of half-ass watching a parade on TV if you get up early enough, and sneaking drinks in the other room when your grandparents aren't looking.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So how do you? I don't even know how this is gonna go.
I think we just start by, listing off what we have to offer, because we narrowed it down to 11, correct? Or 12? Do we have a 12?
We have 11 different
11
foods
yeah.
that we're gonna be trying to order from worst to first.
Yeah.
As far as the pinnacle of Thanksgiving eating is concerned.
Yeah, I think that, we start by listing them off, and if you disagree with this list, I don't care. So you can. Yeah. we Googled best Thanksgiving things after thinking of what we liked, and this is what we got. If we're forgetting something that you usually eat on Thanksgiving, it's not popular enough to be Googleable. So
yeah, you're fucking weird if you don't eat anything that's on this list.
It's your fault because you don't make it popular enough. So work on that.
For instance, I asked the question before we started this podcast, do regular people have fruit salad at every Thanksgiving? And the answer was no. My grandma's just weird and likes making fruit salad for get-togethers. So that's not on the list today.
Why don't you read the list off there, Tyler? Why don't you give it to us?
Yeah, I sure will. So first up, we got turkey, obviously. Fucking, it's Turkey Day. Where would we be without turkey? Second up, we got cranberry sauce. I've never eaten it, but it's a thing. It's always there. I've never touched it. I prefer my cranberries to be not cylindrical.
Fair, honestly. I would have to agree, but we'll get into that later.
Okay, the next one is stuffing, which I definitely almost read as suffering, which I guess there's always a little bit of suffering every Thanksgiving, but it's stuffing. Next up is mashed potatoes.
Perfect.
Followed by gravy, because we're putting those in as two separate elements. Because fuck you. After which we have pumpkin pie. Then we have vegetables. Just all the assorted veggies you would find in the cornucopia in the center of the table for your Thanksgiving dinner.
It's less of a meal and more of a centerpiece.
Yeah, so but it's part of it, so we're counting it.
Yeah, the pilgrims are rolling in their graves right now.
Speaking of rolling, next up we got rolls.
This is so fucking stupid. Why are we doing this?
and pumpkin rolls, which I found out were a thing before this.
They are legit as fuck.
They are legit.
I looked at pictures. They look delicious. What the fuck is wrong with my family? Dad, I know you're listening to this. Figure out how to make them or buy them and get them. I want them.
I'm pretty sure they sell them at Walmart.
I think they do. I've definitely seen them before.
Oh, they definitely do.
What is wrong with my family? Swap out the fucking fruit salad for pumpkin rolls. What is happening in the Luke household? And then the last two things we got on the list, we got green bean casserole and sweet potatoes in any form.
Hell yeah, dude. Do we have one where we would like to start with?
I
There's
don't
one.
know.
There's one that jumps out at me.
Okay.
And I mean, like, I could see this being a thing that is on the Thanksgiving dinner table, and if it's prepared the right way, much like anything on this list, but I feel like this has the least possibility to make me go, put that on my plate, and it's just the veggies.
Yeah.
It's a basic veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, if you make your veggies up real nice and good, I applaud you. But I think that in general, everything else on this list I'd eat before it. And I don't even like cranberry sauce that much, but I'd probably eat cranberry sauce first.
Yeah. I mean, I would say just as a person in general, I hate vegetables in almost any form. Like, I could seriously probably be the president of the anti-veggie brigade, if that was a thing. My hatred for them is very deep-rooted, and I hate them. I'm a very unhealthy person, but, I just fuck vegetables. So that being said, definitely agree with you on that. Also, because of that, I want to vote for green bean casserole to be 10th.
I don't know.
But that is a bias on my end.
Yeah.
So that's just my stance. But obviously, we can hash that out.
I don't know.
So we're suggesting veggies at 11, and then green bean casserole at 10.
Yes, that is what I am suggesting.
I agree with the 11. I'm not so certain about that number 10.
Okay.
Well, Brennan, what do you think about these? Because, I mean, do you love veggies? Are you a veggie lover?
I mean, I'm like indifferent. Like, I'm not like a veggie hater, but at the same time, like, everything else on this list just does it for me a little more. So, I definitely agree with veggies being 11. Green bean casserole at 10. This is interesting. I don't think it should be much higher than 10.
That's fine. I do think, like, I can see that, because, like, I'm looking at the other things, right? Because I love me a good green bean casserole. My grandma makes a mean green bean casserole. That was the most fun thing I've ever said. And
all right, Dr. Seuss, chill out.
But, like, it's so good, dude. It's just, like, so creamy, but it also feels like I'm eating something right that I should be eating. So it's definitely already a step up from veggies. Like, we're already clearing that gap. But man, it's so good. But I'm looking at everything else on the list, and I'm like, damn, that's like always super good and like more widely accepted, I think, too. So, Brennan, do you think it's coming next, or do you have something else you could think of? Because I have some things I could possibly throw next before that, but
well, throw something in the pot. Let's see what it is.
I mean, it's very much an unpopular opinion, and I hinted at it, but it's cranberry sauce. I'm not a big guy on that.
As a person who's never actually ingested cranberry sauce,
it's a shame.
I can't really weigh in other than the fact that looking at it is unpleasant.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that's just my 2 cents on cranberry sauce.
Tyler. I mean,
do you like cranberry sauce?
I do.
Uh-oh.
I mean, like, I don't love it. Like, it's not something that I just, I can't wait for Thanksgiving to get some of that cranberry sauce. Like, that's totally not me. Damn.
I know some people go so hard for the cranberry sauce. So, like, I know we're going to piss some people off by putting it this low, but it's definitely in this realm with green bean casserole where it's just not as good as a lot of other things on this list.
I mean, honestly, for me, they're, like, interchangeable. Like,
okay.
if we put 1 in 10 and 1 in 9, it wouldn't hurt me.
Okay. Well,
I do feel like these are the next two.
I would like to swing for cranberry sauce next, then green bean casserole. It hurts that green bean casserole is this low, but I understand that the vast majority of people would probably put it this low. I'm just weird,
That, and I feel like green bean casserole is very hit or miss.
That's fair, and that's something I was actually kind of thinking about for some other things on the list too, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, like, I've had some awful green bean casserole, and I've had some amazing green bean casserole. So, I mean, depending on who you have in your family preparing it, could obviously, for some people, boost it higher. For some people, like, put it through the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm completely cool with cranberry sauce at 10 and green bean casserole at 9.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that too. I don't really have a preference for this, so
Awesome. We want to lock it in then?
Yeah, I feel like everything else is better.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, here's where I think we're going to get a little bit more difficult, because I legitimately don't know what comes next. You had mentioned it depends on how it's prepared kind of way, like it can be hit or miss. And oddly enough, I jumped right to stuffing, because stuffing, like 25% of the time, slaps. But there are definitely stuffings that I've had where it's like just a little too dry, or like it's not, like it's like in too big a clumps. Because like the weird thing about stuffing, right, is that like even with against cranberry sauce, it's always that cylindrical tube. You always know what you're gonna get. But stuffing, it could come out in like all sorts of variety of clumps. You never know what's gonna go inside of it. Looking at it, you really can't tell what's in it, which is part of the wonderful mystery of it. But also, it's like a wild card, you know? Like sometimes it's delicious, sometimes a little too dry, you don't like something in it, too clumpy. That's my only argument I can make for something to come next. I don't know. Because like I love stuffing, but I think of a lot of the things that are left, it is a little too what's the word I'm looking for? Unexpected, you know? You never know what you're gonna get.
Like it's too varied.
Yeah, I think like there's not a lot of variation on turkey, and it's always good. And there's not a lot of variation on like mashed potatoes.
I can disagree heavily with the turkey.
I mean, like, I don't think to the extremes that stuffing can vary, though. I think, like, with stuffing...
I can kind of agree with that.
Oh, like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because, like, the thing with turkey is it's always just turkey. Whereas with stuffing, you never really know. Like, it could literally be a mixture of whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but you can have some dry-ass fucking turkey.
Oh, you definitely can. Which is why there is another solo thing on this list that, you know, is eyeing me up.
Man, stuff.
Gravy, I'm looking at you.
I've been incredibly spoiled with stuffing.
That's fair.
My mom, I remember, like, a couple years in a row, she had, like, this amazing stuffing. It had, like, sausage and bacon in it. Oh, my gosh. I mean, obviously, that's, like, not traditionally what stuffing, or as my mom likes to call it, dressing. How fucking weird and white is that shit? But, all right. So my mom, she thinks that if the stuffing actually goes in the turkey, it's stuffing. But if it's just made outside of the turkey and never, like, touches the turkey, except, you know, when it's on your plate, then it's dressing.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Brennan's mom. What does it say on the fucking box when you buy this shit?
Stuffing.
That's
me. Like, we don't like argue over it, but like, there's been times like I told her like, listen, like I told her the same exact thing, where I'm like, it says stuffing on the box. You could go buy stovetop. It says stuffing, and it doesn't say dressing. It says stuffing. So I don't know. I mean, Paula Dean is probably like fucking rolling her eyes right now at me saying this, but I mean, I've always thought it was like stuffing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Do you guys have anything else that could beat stuffing for this next spot? Is my question to you guys. Do you have anything that jumps out at you? Do you boys have anything else that you'd like to compete?
Yeah, I think the next two, for me, for my personal tastes, I would say the next two would be sweet potatoes and stuffing. Because I just think that everything else is better. And I think that everything else, well, I mean, stuffing is a pretty, like, trademark Thanksgiving thing. But, like, yeah. I don't know. I've never been huge on stuffing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a fan of stuffing. Like, the fact I threw it out, like, to be in this next spot might seem like I'm not. But I do enjoy me stuffing. Like, are you a pirate? What the fuck?
I do enjoy me stuffing.
Yeah, as a pirate, I love stuffing. And
that was like Willem Dafoe in the Lighthouse.
Oh my god! But no, I like stuffing a lot.
Stuff your gullet full of stuffing.
I really like stuffing, but I just feel like, especially compared to a lot of the other stuff on this list, I feel like it just doesn't compare. You know, especially with the variety that you can get in it compared to some of the other stuff too. I can also get down with sweet potatoes being one of the next ones too, because like I like sweet potatoes, but I don't really think they like land in the this is a Thanksgiving food realm as much as some other things on this list, as well as it's just not as good as some other things on this list to me. But
plus, I mean, like, you got mashed potatoes already, so like, who needs to double up on the potatoes? I understand sweet potatoes are a very different thing, but like, they're called potatoes still. So like, in my opinion, you only need one or the other, and I personally am always gonna pick the mashies over the orange
Sweeties.
boys.
See, I'm in the same camp as Tyler. I don't know what it is, but sweet potatoes just don't necessarily agree with my palate.
Gotcha. I think it is more of like an acquired taste kind of thing. Like they're a lot more like unique than some of the other things. Because I think honestly, part of the thing about Thanksgiving dinner that makes it so accessible is that a lot of it is just very like everyone's gonna like this kind of food. You know, like mashed potatoes have got some like butter and some salt, like, and it's a potato, and then like turkey's just a meat. Like it's not. It's hard to disappoint with those kinds of things. You know. Whereas I think sweet potatoes are like the variation on it, where it's like this is a special thing. Like let's stray out the box a little bit. Especially as far as sweet things go on this list, it's not the best. So
no.
Yeah, I just like I said, I'm not a big fan of it. That and plus, I feel like pretty much everything else on this list that's left is more of a like Thanksgiving staple.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, my family, like, if there aren't sweet potatoes there, like, some of them will revolt. But then there's, like, plenty of other people in my family that just don't really fuck with it, so.
Yeah. I think there's, like, members of everybody's families who are kind of like that. There's, like, I don't think there's anybody who avidly hates sweet potatoes. It usually just kind of falls into, like, people will fight and die for it, or, like, people do not give a shit whether it's there or not.
Yeah, right. They just pass by it. You know?
Yeah, I just avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
I eat it on occasion is my thing. Like, if I see it there and it's looking appetizing enough at the time, and I happen to want a sweet thing really bad, I'm like, yeah, sure. And I eat it and I go, cool. It was good. And that's kind of it, you know?
And because of that, I feel like sweet potatoes should go beneath stuffing.
I'm fine with that.
I would agree.
The more 100%. You guys talk about it, I'm down for that. Because in my mind, was thinking that sweet potatoes would come after stuffing, like stuffing being lower. But the more you guys talk about it, the more I think about, you know, what I would probably eat if they were put in front of me. I would definitely eat the stuffing before the sweet potatoes. So I'm down with that.
So do we want stuffing to be next? After sweet potatoes?
I'm down with that.
I can't necessarily think of anything that's worse.
Yeah. Because I think everything else is like objectively just good no matter where you stand. And I think that like stuffing is the only thing left that it's like you know, it's okay, but like, you know, some people fuck with it super hard, but like I just compared to everything else on the list, like it's just stuffing.
Yeah, I do think the only other thing that I can think to compete possibly, specifically to the like, it's the only thing that like isn't always good, is just rolls in general. I feel like there can be shitty rolls.
There can be, but like how it's really fucking hard to fuck up bread. I'm just saying. Yeah,
no, it's true.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Rolls go with literally everything.
It's a fact. Because
I also feel like it's a lot easier to fuck up a turkey.
It is a lot easier to fuck up a turkey. Like, you can have a bad turkey much more easily than you can have bad rolls. I feel like the only time you can have bad rolls is if, like, they're stale, or if you, like, heat them up in the oven and burn the fuck out of them. Like, those are really the only...
If someone, like, completely forgot that they were in the oven.
Yeah.
Fair.
But other than that, I mean, it's really hard to fuck up rolls. Especially if you're just buying a pack from the damn store and not, like, making it from scratch, you know?
That's awesome. That's a good point, too. I'm down for stuffing next.
Cool.
We locking it in?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, boy. Ready for a recap?
Yeah, we can do a quick little recap. So we got veggies at number 11. We got cranberry sauce at number 10. We got green bean casserole at number 9. We got sweet potatoes in any form at number 8, and at number 7 we have stuffing.
Whoa.
So we are left with turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, pumpkin pie rolls, and pumpkin rolls.
Ooh.
Now we're down to things that like are actually good, And
or like always things. These are the things that I always think of when I'm like, I'm gonna go eat the shit out of these things at a Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat some stuffing, but I ain't gonna fill up on the stuffing. I'm definitely gonna enjoy it. But these are the things that I am so dearly going to gain pounds on because I'm gonna eat way too much of these things.
I will say, like, of the things left, I feel like if we're just thinking, I mean, if we're thinking the route of like what is a staple for Thanksgiving food, then like turkey's gonna take number one. What fun is that? That's stupid.
Yeah.
But like if we think about it in a sense of like of what's left, which of these have flaws? And you're gonna you know, your mind's gonna default to none of them. But as we were saying before, like you can fuck up a turkey much easier than you can fuck up any of the rest of this stuff.
It is true.
It is almost impossible to fuck up some of this other stuff.
I don't know if I would necessarily put turkey under rolls, though. Because I feel like we were just talking about like that comparison, and you're kind of leaning towards possibly turkey being next. And I don't know. I like, because like I like me some good rolls, but next to everything else, I don't know. How do you?
I'm just gonna throw this out there. At the Last Supper, what did Jesus give his boys?
That is
It wasn't
true.
turkey.
Bread, yo.
It was fucking rolls, baby. So if God likes bread, I'm just saying maybe that should be higher up on the list, you know?
We have broken down the separation of church and state. we are bringing God into the podcast.
I'm not saying that, you know, we're gonna go to hell if we put bread next, but like it could happen. I don't know.
It could happen.
I don't know.
Jesus is like, this is supposed to be my flesh, and you guys just discarded it. Discarded like it was fucking.
Bro, my skin is literally crust. You can't do me like that.
You can't do me like that. Just imagine like God like keeps up with the lingo.
Oh yeah, that's like if I were to do a translation of the Bible.
It's like,
that would be a verse right there. Like I don't know what verse it is that the communion shit is from, but that would be my direct interpretation of it. My translation.
And Jesus passed out the bread.
Bro,
said,
my skin is crust. Get up in this
Listen,
ish.
broskies. Listen, broskies, let's pound some of this wine and eat this bread. So, yeah, my skin is
Why don't
crust.
you munch on these cheeks, bud?
Oh no, guy.
Oh,
Let's just curb this bit a little early. I think we're at the point where we can just kind of, take the keys out of the engine on this one.
Oh no.
We could probably.
This was the episode where my dad stopped listening.
Yes, the episode where my mom stopped listening, your dad stopped listening.
This is where Roy's definitely hitting like the plus 15. Like
Yeah, this isn't the one that our family are sharing to people.
This is why my dad tells me he prays for me.
Who would have thought the Thanksgiving episode would have been the one to shut our parents off? But here it
I can
is.
totally imagine Roy just being like, Tyler, I'm praying for you.
I'm a little bit more disappointed than last episode, but I'm still praying for you.
Oh my gosh, Roy.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, rolls can't be next. That was the point I was trying to make.
All right. Okay.
I don't want to be stricken down by lightning or some shit. So.
I mean, if I don't want
feel
to be
like-
hit by lightning either, so I guess we're not putting rolls.
I feel like
next.
rolls has to be top 5 just for that alone.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, what else do we think? Because I don't know anymore.
I don't know either. I really don't know.
Okay, well, here's a conversation we can have, right?
Okay.
Right? Is that we have gravy, right?
Yes.
And I don't think it's next.
Gravy?
But-
No, gravy's not next.
It's
At
absolutely not next.
No,
but we have to have the conversation of why do we separate mashed potatoes away from gravy?
Because
And-
you
Because
can put gravy on
Exactly.
literally everything on this list.
Exactly.
I was gonna push. I'm not to jump the gun or anything. I was gonna push for gravy to be number 1.
Okay.
See,
well,
due to the fact that gravy is more of an additive than its own food, I heavily disagree.
Well, two things here. Banana bread. Okay, number 1, that is false. I could chug a gallon of gravy if I want. You could throw that shit back like Gatorade if you really wanted to. No one says that you have to put it on anything. But also, like, it goes with everything. You list off anything on this list, you put gravy on it, becomes better. Pumpkin pie, definitely included.
Tyler.
You dip that pumpkin pie, you cover it in Cool Whip, you dip that shit in gravy.
We're stretching a little far now.
That is a meal I want to be a part of. That's my stomach juices are happy whenever that happens.
This is why your family gives you like your own table.
I wish my family gave me my own table.
And the table is just covered in gravy, and you just like
the food sit
around
outside
the table
while my family converses, and I just have like a trough of gravy, and I'm just like shoving shit into it. I have like a fondue fountain for like gravy.
Yeah, like I went over Tyler's, and I saw Tyler like sitting by himself at this table with this trough. I asked Roy, I'm like, Roy, like what's like. Well, I was getting ready to go sit with Tyler, and Roy stopped me, and he's like, no. He's like, you don't get this. He's like, Tyler, for years, has demanded that he sits alone with this trough of gravy that he can put just about anything in the gravy. And, of course, since it's things that we don't necessarily agree with, we sit separate from him.
Thanksgiving gravy dipping is a very intimate experience, and I'd like to keep it that way, okay?
Yeah, your dad's just kind of looks at us and goes, no, it's Ty-Ty's big day. This is the way. This is the day he waits for, you know?
I just see Tyler, like, has, like, a bib on, like, already soaked in gravy before we even said grace. I'm just like, okay,
dinner
I
ends. Get it. Dinner ends, and he's just sucking on the bib to get every last bit of gravy.
I'm, like, wringing it out over my mouth, trying to get, like, every last drop of gravy.
The trough is completely empty. Like, there's not even a drop.
I see my family members like taking their plates and stuff over to like wash them off, and I just like intercept them and start like licking every single tiny molecule of gravy off of all the dishes and silverware.
It's like instead of being a crackhead, Tyler's like a gravy head.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, it's oddly enough we've been making fun of him for this, but I also am a gravy head. I also adore dipping legitimately almost everything in gravy. I don't agree with the pumpkin pie sentiment, but I dip literally everything else. Not the pumpkin rolls. I dip everything
eater,
else.
I guess.
Someone's a picky. Okay, Tyler. Go back to your trough, Tyler. Come on. But no, I was also going to make the argument for gravy to be really high, but I also agree with Brennan's sentiment where I don't know if it should be number one because it's really not a food itself. It's more of an additive thing, which is why it gets a little bit more difficult. But there's just like that blissful moment where like you sit down, you've got your turkey, you've got your stuffing, you've got maybe some corn, shouting out to the bottom tiered veggies. And then you've got a big old pile of mashed potatoes with a nice, sweet, warm, steaming pool of gravy in it. And you just like push your spoon into the edge of that mashed potatoes and the gravy just seeps out and starts hitting everything else on your plate. Mm-hmm. And you go, this is going to be a good dinner. And
it's like a volcano of flavor.
Yeah, and the gravy hits everything. And it makes everything better. It is just delicious. There's no other way to describe it other than delicious. Like it is just the best thing to add to things. It's so good.
I just think I am in the boat, the gravy boat, where, you know, you put gravy on literally anything, it makes it better, edible or otherwise. Pour gravy on literally any substance or surface, and it becomes 100% better. You cannot come up with an example of a reason why that's wrong.
The fact that you're adding it to something.
But it's making things better.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't equate to actual like dishes.
Okay, but even still, if I were to just have like a cup of gravy or like turkey, and then like I'm at Thanksgiving dinner and someone's like, you can only have one or the other, I'm chugging that gravy, boy.
Okay,
yeah, well, but
I feel like any sane person would take that path.
Here's another point. How often is turkey a part of other meals around the year, you know? Because, like, obviously it's a part of, like, you know, meals occasionally. You know, you get like your roast beef sandwich with gravy, or maybe you put some gravy on mashed potatoes other times. But this is like the one time of year where gravy is like always being made. It is like a predominant factor. And that is something that I don't think people appreciate enough. You know, this is gravy's hottest month. Like, gravy is feeling itself this time of year.
It's a gravy time, a gravy time of year, you know?
We're having a gravy time.
Yeah, I mean, our time is gravy, but I don't think that puts it in number one or nearly at it.
Okay,
I mean, I definitely think top 5. I mean, I don't think it's next.
We've cleared out the fact that gravy is not coming next.
No, gravy's not next.
No, we've also told God that rolls aren't coming next. So what?
We got you, Big G. We're not axing the bread just yet.
So what comes next? You know,
I mean,
are we gonna threaten the world and put turkey next?
I don't know. It part of me thinks it's kind of wrong, but the other part of me thinks that that's the reason why I am so tempted to put it there.
No, there's one thing that
I'm a
little
little sinner, and it's tantalizing to piss off the world.
The more that I think about it, you know, there is something that I could say that could come next. And before that we have that discussion, I'd like to, because this has to do with that discussion, is which is better, pumpkin rolls or pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie, hands down, no contest.
Okay. Brennan, how do you feel about this?
All right, since
I knew Tyler wasn't a pumpkin roll guy, so I knew that was going to be his answer.
Tyler,
but Brennan,
haven't you like never had pumpkin rolls?
No, I've actually never had a pumpkin roll. I'm just very biased toward pumpkin pie because it's like my favorite dessert. So
I mean, see, I said it to accommodate to everyone, but I knew Tyler didn't matter. Brennan, what do you think of pumpkin rolls?
Look, I think pumpkin rolls are absolutely incredible. I think that, I mean, like I told you guys before, like me and Christian, we went to, it was my aunt's house for Thanksgiving, and she had like just trays of it. And I'm pretty sure like not everyone got one because of me and Christian. So, I mean, that speaks volumes. But then at the same time, I feel like pumpkin rolls are a little more nuanced, while pumpkin pie is like tradition.
Yeah. I think another question I have for you, Brennan, because you've had it before, is do you eat pumpkin rolls with your bare hands or a fork?
Interesting.
Because I know people that do both, so I'm curious what you.
I usually eat it with a fork because when it comes out of the oven, like after my aunt makes it, it's usually like really sticky.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't feel like getting my fingers more covered with stickiness than they already are. So I usually just get like a fork and a knife and just tear it up.
What? Why were you? I won't ask, but I.
We usually like dealing with like I usually grab a turkey leg.
Okay, I got you. I was like, why are your hands already sticky? Why are we going into this issue?
He's always elbow deep in, especially on Turkey Day.
Turkey Day, more like. Yeah,
you got one hand dipped in gravy, the other dipped in that's how you do Thanksgiving.
You got this whole segment's beeps.
You're stuffing a turkey with one hand and you're
and that's why we're thankful this year.
And that's why we're really worried about God fucking shutting
That's why we have to put rolls at number 1 for that exact reason.
No,
we're going to hell.
No. See, my point I was making by asking you, hands or utensil, is because I often see people use their hands to eat them, and it does get, they are sticky. They're often very sticky, even if they aren't like fresh out the oven. Because I've had pumpkin rolls where they like sit, like they get them like cooler, they cool first, and like they're a little bit cooler. And they're still sticky then too. So part of me is like, a lot of these foods you're not gonna have any issues with eating and like having to like deal with like the aftermath of that food, whereas this, unless you're Tyler with gravy, but you with pumpkin rolls, I feel like there is like a bit of this is going to get my hands sticky if you eat it a certain way, which a lot of people I've seen do. I could be wrong on this, but I know some people do, because I do and many of my family members do, and that's some people. So does that mean that it comes next? I don't know.
I mean, I agree, because like a lot of people in my families get together, eat them with their hands as well. but I don't like me. I just prefer it. I just don't like having like sticky stuff on my hands. I mean,
fair.
It's not like Tyler where you're just fucking dive bombing rolls into your gravy trough, and, like, getting it everywhere. But yeah, I'm more of a utensil guy. But
got you.
Like Christian ate them with his hands, I believe.
Part of me could see pumpkin rolls coming next. It kind of pains me, but I don't know if I could say turkey is below pumpkin rolls. I think that pumpkin rolls are a pleasant surprise when I see them at Thanksgiving dinner. But like if I don't see turkey at Thanksgiving dinner, I'm gonna be both confused and peeved. Like, turkey's kind of, I mean, we've said it's the staple. It's like the number one staple.
Turkey is literally like the reason Thanksgiving happens.
People call it Turkey Day for God's sakes. Like, exactly. So I don't know if I can say turkey comes next. And I think that pumpkin roll, of the things that are left, are one of the things that aren't as like iconic. They can be sticky if you eat them a certain way. They're not, like you said, they're a little bit more nuanced, which, to some people they won't appreciate that. They might not like them as much. So I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards that coming next, but I don't know. Tyler, I know you're indifferent.
I can't say I'm in disagreement, because if I didn't see pumpkin pie, I would be like straight up pissed.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason that like I kind of am thinking pumpkin roll should be next, just because we already have pumpkin pie.
Yeah. Like, and I do think pumpkin pie is better.
Yeah.
It's close for me personally, because I think they're both delicious, but I would give the edge to pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
And I also think, like we just said, if we didn't see pumpkin pie, we would all be pissed. So if I don't get a slice of pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving, it's a bad Thanksgiving. And for that reason alone, it can't be next. So
if that's the case, you need to take fucking big steps in the other direction, away from your family, because they're not fucking worth it anymore.
Facts. If no one else brings a pumpkin pie to Thanksgiving and they expect me to do it, no. You ain't my family anymore. That's just how it is.
Now, I mean, if I bring one and like 5 other people bring one, great.
Yeah, more the merrier,
If I'm the only person bringing one, like, I'm surrounded by a bunch of deceivers.
Facts.
Like, straight up, like, there's people I can't trust anymore.
So pumpkin rolls next, huh? Is that what we were settling with?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm cool with it. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. What number is that? I already forgot.
6.
6? Is it 6?
I think. Hold on.
Rolls, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, turkey. Yes. There's 5 left.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're into the top 5.
Whoa!
We made it.
We're here. It took so long. So much. What a journey. So much anger. So much resentment. This is the angriest I've ever been on an episode. This is it. Right here.
Dude, you've been way more butthurt on like some of the rankings and shit.
It was a joke, but so what do you guys think's next? Is it that time?
Turkey.
Are we doing it? Yeah.
I think I'm throwing the turkey in.
Before we throw turkey,
it feels wrong, but it also it feels fitting.
Let me just say something here. I love me a good turkey, and I'm a little spoiled on this front, which is why I've kind of been pushing it off. Obviously, I've been pushing off because it's Turkey Day, turkey. But I'm glad I made it to the top 5, and I just want to say my piece on turkey, because I every year get some bomb ass turkey from my family. We got some Cajun turkey that like has like Cajun like juices infused into it, and oh baby. That is some of the best tasting turkey I've ever had in my entire life. Some of the best meat I've ever tasted in my entire life. It is phenomenal. However, I know not everyone is blessed with a family like mine. So I understand that there are bad turkeys. And I've had bad turkeys too. Like, don't get me wrong. I just happen to also be blessed with possibly the best turkey on the planet. But you're definitely right. It's pretty easy to fuck up a turkey. Like there's many times where you're going to get a turkey. It's going to just be like super dry, super tough. You have to douse it with gravy or it's just not edible. So, yeah, I can see turkey next.
Cool.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. I've had incredible turkey. I've had turkey that was so dry, I basically coughed it back up.
Yep.
So
that's fair.
I've been there.
As unfortunate as it is being called Turkey Day, there are some times where turkey just sucks.
Yeah.
And I feel objectively that pretty much everything else doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Ever.
Fair.
So, yeah.
I'm going to start a petition to change it from Turkey Day to Gravy Day, because that also just sounds better.
I love that. Can we... You heard it here first, folks. It's now Gravy Day. We're
Gravy
just
Day.
we don't need to get like a people's opinion. We're just gonna make that statement, and the world will accept it.
To me, it's gonna be Gravy Day from now on.
Yeah, it's just a better title.
Yeah,
it's a tastier title.
Way more fun to say. Imagine seeing a big gravy boat in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade instead of a big turkey. Make me so much happier.
It's also way easier to draw for kids, like in middle school. You know, just draw a bowl. You know,
it's like you have kids fucking tracing your hand and like drawing a beak on it and shit. No, just trace your fucking thumb and you got a gravy boat.
You're not
like the skinniest bowl ever.
not thick enough.
Unless you have some kid like the biggest thumbs ever.
Well, no, you make a fist and then you stick your thumb out and then you trace that and then it's like a gravy boat.
That is a gravy boat, isn't it?
Yeah. Way easier.
I thought
way
you
less
literally
time.
just meant trace your thumb.
No. I meant like your thumb and your hand. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, we're down to the 4.
We're down to 4.
This is
this is tough because I would murder people for any one of these 4 foods.
Facts.
If it came down to it.
There is an elephant in the room, Tyler.
Is there?
Yeah.
I want you to throw it out to me. I want you to tell me.
I think it's rolls, Tyler. I think.
Oh wow.
See, here's the thing. Like, I'm kind of thinking that too. As much as I love rolls.
Yeah. I figured you were getting close to being in agreement.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I can't justify. Sorry, Jesus. I can't justify putting rolls above pumpkin pie, gravy, or mashed potatoes. I mean, they're all just much more filling and good tasting. So I mean,
These other 3 things are better than your skin. Sorry, Jesus.
I know you died for my sins, but pumpkin pie makes me happy. So I mean,
damn.
Every day we stray further and further from God. Jesus.
Yep. So, do we want to put rolls next? Because that's where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
Brennan, do you not agree? Because if you're thinking gravy is next, you're outvoted. I'm just gonna say it now.
No, I know when I'm beat. No, fair enough.
I think now is the hardest for me. These 3 things are possibly my 3 favorite things on a Thanksgiving dinner table.
I think this is very clear cut for me.
Is it really?
I'm gonna give you my order.
Uh-oh. We're doing this again.
So number 1 is gravy, obviously, because gravy goes incredibly well with everything, as we've stated. I've already talked to death about that. Second would be pumpkin pie, because gravy tastes better on pumpkin pie than mashed potatoes. Everyone knows that. And then mashed potatoes would be third. So that's where I'm at. That's where my heart's at right now, obviously. Yeah, I think any sane person would be in agreement with me, but, we'll see.
So we're putting mashed potatoes at 3?
That's where I'm headed. Because, I mean, pumpkin pie is just... If someone offered you mashed potatoes or a pumpkin pie, I mean, like, they're both pretty amazing. Like, top tier, upper echelon foods that, like, only rich people should be enjoying because they're delicious. But, like, I'm going to take a pumpkin pie over mashed potatoes 90% of the time. It's just... It's good. It's less healthy, so I'm automatically drawn toward it.
I get that. I just completely disagree with gravy.
But do you agree with the ordering of the other 2, Brennan? Like, do you think pumpkin pie should be over mashed potatoes? Because that's where I'm struggling right now. You do agree?
Yeah, but then I'm not sure if I like gravy over either of them. Because gravy's an additive to help mashed potatoes.
It's an additive to help everything. If your mind is open to it.
Yeah, but predominantly, I mean, like, more often than not, people just put it on their mashed potatoes.
Yes.
So, before we move on to the gravy conversation, because I feel like that's the most important conversation we have to have, is when I look at just mashed potatoes, right? I love just mashed potatoes. That's why it's here. And I eat mashed potatoes without gravy, a good bit, because I don't always just want to make gravy. I just toss some butter in there, and it's done. Mm-hmm. And it still tastes great.
Yeah.
So props to mashed potatoes for making it this far. But I think 9 times out of 10, I also will pick the pumpkin pie over the mashed potatoes. Like, it's just so tasty. Toss some whipped cream on there, baby. Ooh. I'm also a big pie guy, and pumpkin pie is high-tier pie.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think I would agree that pumpkin pie is better than mashed potatoes. Now, here's my dilemma, boys, is that I didn't think when we started this list, I was going to imagine gravy being number one. I imagined it being high, but I was in the same boat of Brennan as, it's an additive, so maybe it doesn't deserve the first place spot. But I've come full circle, and I think that gravy is just the uncontested best thing on the Thanksgiving table.
Damn.
Because, think about it, okay? Because, this is hard, right? But, the more I think about it, I just love gravy. Gravy's good on literally everything. And you bet your sweet ass I'm going to try gravy on pumpkin pie this Thanksgiving because now I have to. I feel kind of obligated. But, it just makes everything better. It is the one thing that heightens at this point, probably almost everything on the table.
Literally everything, including the table. If you're eating a table, you better coat that shit in gravy. You're gonna have
It's gonna make it better.
Yeah.
Because it's better than just eating a table.
Yeah. Also, you can use gravy. Gravy can be applicable in more situations than just eating. Let's be real about this. You can't use anything else in this list for anything other than eating. If you run out of shampoo, gravy. Why not? You can use it as a lotion. Osmosis it into your skin, if you will. You can use it as lube. If you need that. Yeah. I wouldn't say desperate, just if the time calls for it.
I wouldn't say desperate, but pretty damn close.
Sometimes the mood requires gravy and not your standard water-based lubricant. We've all been there, right? This isn't just a me thing, I know.
Tyler, you are alone.
Holy shit, that was so good.
Oh,
shit. Say desperate.
You said that with such confidence.
I know, it was so good. I almost missed it too. There's part of me, it was delayed for me, and then it hit me.
Here's the real thing. Have you ever put gravy on gravy?
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, actually, I have. It's called gravy.
No. I'm talking about mixing fluids here.
Oh.
I know we all have a lot of experience in mixing fluids, but gravy on gravy is if you get a really two different types of gravy. Obviously, if you mix the same kind of gravy, same kind of gravy, you're just getting a bigger puddle of gravy. I'm talking interbreeding gravy.
Interbreeding gravy. Okay. All right.
Being an alchemist of gravy.
Yeah.
Also, need to keep your fucking drinks cool while you're having your Thanksgiving dinner? Gravy ice cubes. That'll make the punch muy caliente.
Gravy's never meant to be frozen.
That's a good point, actually.
What is happening?
Surprisingly enough, that was a great point that you just made. Because
was it?
If it's a hot ass Thanksgiving, which doesn't happen very often, but if you have a hot ass
global warming's a thing. I mean, we're getting there.
So you never know, right? Every year is different. But this one just happens to be terrible. But if you don't have any water or liquids or anything, and all you have is gravy, you could put that in a freezer and you could get ice cubes. You could just drink it, and that would be a liquid, and it would probably quench your thirst.
Yeah.
This is
also think about this. Best. In a survival scenario, right? Which of these foods on the list is easier to ration? The answer is gravy. Because it is both a food and a drink, and you can just sip that shit like
it's
broth.
impossible though. You have to fill your trough.
Yeah. I'm
not. Well, yes, but obviously, if I was in a post-apocalyptic, life-threatening situation, I would not chug up my gravy it was my last day on Earth. I would try to ration it out a little bit. I'd put it in a hamster feeder thing, so you have to lick the marble to get little drops out.
That was my favorite image you created so far. And luckily, that'll be the last image you spout because I think we actually finalized our list.
I guess we're at the end.
I think we did it. So
I'm glad that I won.
I can't believe that
you can't say that you're mad though or disappointed because it's gravy.
Oh, I'm extremely disappointed. This is this is not how I wanted this to go at all.
Pumpkin pie's a better lubricant than gravy, man.
Well,
I can't.
Although I've never tried that.
Yeah.
So I can't believe that an enhancer, something that is meant to just enhance food, is number one.
It also is the one thing on the table
that thing used to enhance baseball players, and that made half their careers. I think gravy's the true champion here.
I think that
half their careers. It just made them hit a little harder. It's not like they just like revolutionized everything.
And gravy makes everything hit a little harder, but also it stands on its own. Unlike steroids, I'm sure that steroids on their own.
Yeah, but a lot of other things, like Kyle was saying, like mashed potatoes, like you don't need gravy to have a good set of mashed potatoes.
You also don't need gravy to just have some good ass gravy. Putting gravy on your gravy is optional.
Right, but having gravy in your gravy is an enhancement.
Yeah, but you can just have straight up gravy by itself.
So is putting gravy on literally anything else.
Yeah, but also if you just have gravy as a separate dish and just eat it with nothing else, it's like a soup.
Yeah, but no one does that except you.
People will.
I've never seen anyone literally just have a bowl of gravy and like a spoon. It's like, all right, this is great.
Let me remind you.
I'm having my gravy.
Let me remind you, tens of people listen to this podcast. I think I changed a few lives today. I think some people's Thanksgivings are going to be a little bit better since they're now going to be exposed to the truth of gravy. Well, I feel like I've done my job. I feel like my purpose for being put on this earth has been fulfilled. I could get hit by a truck and die tomorrow, and I'd be fine. I've let the world know about the true
then God smites you down for not putting rolls higher.
Yeah, that's probably how I'll die, too. I'm going to leave this recording session. I'm just going to immediately die.
As long as you have some gravy first.
Yeah, dude, you better stock up on the gravy.
All I'm saying is his blood could have been gravy, but, they're working with what they got. I think that if Jesus was alive in like a modern day scenario, his blood probably would have been gravy. But we'll never know.
Basically what mine is. So it's not hard. Wow, Tyler, do you want to recap this list?
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
So at number 11 we got veggies. Fuck them. Number 10. Sorry, we have cranberry sauce, which I've never had. Number 10 is green bean casserole. Next up is sweet potatoes in any form. And then what number am I on? 11, 10, 9, 8. Number 7 is stuffing. Number 6 is pumpkin rolls. Number 5 is turkey, much to the chagrin of everybody. Number 4 is rolls. Go Jesus. Number 3 is mashed potatoes. Number 2 is pumpkin pie, the best dessert ever. And number 1 is gravy, the best food ever.
Yes.
And it's done. Put the gavel down. Court is no longer in session. We have decided, and we have sentenced all of you to a happy Thanksgiving full of nothing but gravy. Throw all your other food in the gosh dang trash can. All you need is a big old bucket of gravy in the middle of the table. And some long spoons, and you're great.
Some long spoons, even longer nowadays.
Unless it's a pandemic. We don't want everybody like bobbing for apples in the fucking gravy.
Yeah,
you got to be civil.
The damn vid.
Yeah,
everyone gets their own gravy boat this year.
Yeah, everyone needs to have their own gravy boat. You should ration it out separately. Don't just go for the collective pot.
Yeah.
Be safe about be safe about your gravy consumption during the pandemic, people. Anyway, that's the end. We did it. We ranked all the Thanksgiving foods. You're welcome. This is the definitive list. If you disagree, you're wrong, because this is it. It's done. It's Jesus approved.
I can't believe this is how this went, but I'm not disappointed at all.
It's us. Did you really think it was gonna go any other way?
See, I looked at it. I saw.
I was hoping.
Before we end this, I'm just going to say, Tyler brought this list to us, and I immediately was like, he put gravy separate. That's odd. And slowly as we went, my brain went, but gravy, though. Until the point where, at the end, when we were at the final 3, I was like, you know what? Gravy is the best thing at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and gravy wins.
Yeah.
Gravy wins.
Yeah, I vote that no matter what ranking we do in the future, gravy has to be on the list for everything.
And number 1.
Like we do in the next song ranking of an album of a various musical artist. 16 songs, and then gravy is also in the running.
for number 1.
Gravy sounds pretty good too. I don't know if you've ever just
Gravy does sound good, honestly.
Taking a second to listen to it bubbling over the stove, but gets the endorphins moving, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Iggy Pocket.
Yeah.
More like Gravy Pocket.
You did it. You brought it home. We've done it.
Yes. Yes.
It's it. The podcast is over. Roll the song. We're done. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Subscribe.
Oh shit! Yeah, I gotta plug everything. Stop the music. Stop the cut it out. So Kyle, you jumped into it. You remind us. Why don't you do the end card today?
Oh, dope, dude. Thank you so much. Hey guys, thanks for listening to this awesome, not awful, awesome episode of the Talk Slot Boys. If you like what we did here today, why don't you check out our other stuff? We do album reviews. We do other things where we rank things sometimes. Maybe we'll do more fun stuff like this in the future. Let us know if you liked it. Just random stupid shit. If you liked it, why don't you share it on social media? And you can also find Talk Slot Boys on social media. Go ahead and say hi. We might say something back. And what's that over there? It's a subscribe button. Hit it. Thank you. Thanks for listening today, guys. We have been the Talk Slot Boys, and we're gonna talk to you a whole lot more next time. Goodbye.
Happy Gravy Day!
Gravy Day! Woo! Woo!